Hey kids, this is your official E-vite for your first Thanksgiving with Dad, post-divorce. I was able to squeak this one in on the local library computer in between vagabond beat-off sessions. So if you hear any background meat slapping, you know what that sound is. Here's some of the Thanksgiving fun we're gonna have with dear old Dad. I was able to secure a house on what they're calling Hand Grenade Alley. It's in between a jackhammer testing site and a class on yelling in foreign languages. So, on the plus side, Daddy didn't have to waste $35 on an expensive alarm clock. And no one's butts are gonna be sad about dry turkey, cause Dad couldn't afford any bird. Turkey, pheasant, even a thin pigeon. You know what the price of a pigeon is? You'd have to be some kind of butler on Madison Avenue to get a pigeon. I couldn't do it. You have any idea what a pigeon costs? $150. If I could afford a turkey, you think I would have gotten a mechanic to be my lawyer? The judge took time out from the court to make sure I understood this was the worst divorce settlement he had ever seen. But get ready to stuff your face full of Salisbury steak TV dinners. What I lack in turkey, I make up for in microwavable meat dinners. Ironically, I do not own a television, only the dinner that accompanies it. We can watch all the TV you want through a neighbor's window, if we're quiet, and I give her a week of wet foot rubs. And hey, who's showing up to the party? It's Dad's famous mashed potatoes. And you don't need to be one of those fancy people that own bowls to make mashed potatoes. All you need is a sack of potatoes and a second-story roof. And then you let a little chef called Lady Gravity do the cooking for you. No more fighting for chairs, because I don't have a single stool. But we can sit on the floor like rats. Fancy rats, Broadway rats. Is your mom still seeing Greg the bodybuilder? That spray tan isn't real. You can punch 225, but can you raise a family? Your dad's doing fine, everything is fine. I'll pad the stuffing with the filings from our divorce papers. You know, nothing thickens up a gravy quite like years of irreconcilable differences. We can still break the wishbone, so long as your dear old dad can keep the big bone. I've been stuffing them in the door frames to keep up the house's structural integrity, so it doesn't collapse in on itself every time a garbage truck rolls on by. They stopped taking my garbage and started unloading other people's garbage right in my own front yard. I tried to argue, but they said, come on, look at yourself. This is where it belongs. But hey, who am I to argue? You know, last night for dinner I ate an old boot with a fork and a knife like a cartoon cat. You kids remember when we'd watch cartoons? When everything was fine? And there's not gonna be any yelling like in your mom's Thanksgiving feast. Because none of the relatives are gonna come to mine. Apparently investing all of your kids' college funds in a snowplow business in the middle of Tampa because you don't understand how global warming works is cause for concern. But we will have a steady flow of guests. I haven't paid my bills, so both the gas and the electric guy are gonna stop by and shut off our service. But maybe one of them will bring cranberry sauce. I tried making some from berries I found in the back, but if diarrhea and vomit are any indicators, this will not work. Just like the first Thanksgiving, everyone will leave angry and sick. And don't worry about smallpox. This is some sort of big pox. It's new, wildly untreatable, and if contracted, you will look like a tongue. I've also saved enough pudding cups to mash them into a makeshift football for the annual Thanksgiving game. And since your dad is banned from the street for jumping in front of cars to try to get insurance money, we can play across the street, in the junkyard. If those garbage trucks just drove 5 minutes further down the road, there's a whole area designed for garbage. Finish your route, and you'll never run faster when a junkyard Doberman's got you in his sights And he has acquired a taste for blood. And your dad is fast. He moves like a man who didn't lose both of his Achilles tendons to a junkyard Doberman. Finally, when we're all full and very much ill, we can put on our jackets, crouch outside the neighbor's window, and watch the happiest boy I've ever seen. Charlie Brown. Alright, kids. Daddy's gonna go because the vagabonds have begun to circle me like a bunch of hungry, horny wolves. As you know, I have lost both my Achilles tendons to a bloodthirsty Doberman. See you soon, kids.